me though. Cha-cha matcha with a dime, rocking black clothes. Whip around that Batmobile, ducking 5-0. If you step to me, then be.
Oh my goodness, family, what is up, what is up, what is up? Oh my God, family, it is Sunday. It is the single best day of the week. First things first, band check, cams on. Where you guys at? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Sheesh. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Family, how are we feeling today? Drop some 888s in the chat if you guys are ready to receive from one of the best in the game. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. All right, so me and Sconce are going to drop a little bit first, and then we're going to give it right to the OG Savage himself, Cristian Vargas. Oh, my God. The one thing that I really want to touch on, family, before we get anything rolling is keeping your intention in alignment with your goals for this week, right? That's huge, 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 huge. You can't expect to get 10 bands in your hand if you guys can't see it and you can't make the moves towards it, right? You feel what I'm saying? I've been going savage today, family. I've been going savage today. I'm bringing these vibes right on in here, man. I'm just shoveling them in. So that's the one thing. And how do we do that? How do we do that? We think about it. We feel it every single day. We visualize. I was just going over this with our team. I was just talking to them about it. Close your eyes in the morning, right? As soon as you wake up. Don't fall back asleep, though. Don't fall back asleep. As soon as you wake up in the morning, visualize those 10 bands in your hand, what that feels like. What that smells like, that nasty mildewy smell of old ass dollar bills, right? Visualize that, breathe that in, feel that, what it would feel like to hold 10 bands in your hand, right? Make those intentions throughout your day, moving towards that, holding just stacks of cash in your hand, making that value, making that impact every single day in every single action you make, right? Yeah, drop some 888s if you agree. Drop some 888s if you guys are gonna do that this week. Let's go. Goodness. Guys, these 3M calls have been getting better and better and better and better and better every single week, and it's not going to stop after this call, right? Like I said, we have one of the best in the game in here.
You guys hear me? All good? All right, boss. Yeah, Sconzy, sorry, bro. Your Wi-Fi's clapped the fuck up. So we'll just have to move past that, because we literally have one of the OG originators of the Tradehouse on this call tonight. Him and Mike Miles set the platform up in his backyard, and we've got him on the call tonight. Cristian Vargas, like, this is going to be absolutely fucking insane. I'm already speechless, so I can barely edify this man. Chris Vargas, man, let her rip. Let's go.
Yo, what is good, familia? How's it going? Can everybody hear me? Hey, all right, bet. First, I just want to say thank you guys so much for even showing up today. Trust me, you're not doing myself a favor, you're doing yourself a favor. So give it back to yourselves for making the time to be on this call. Today, Jordan asked me to talk about, some spiritual sprinkles, would you guys call it. So, I was like, all right, well, there's a lot of ways that we can go from here. And there's going to be more of a, I would say not necessarily a rabbit hole conversation, but I want you guys to kind of get a feel for where it is that, I'm coming from. And, I want to share my story with those who haven't heard it yet. So first and foremost, I'm 29 years old. I started on this path, on this journey since 2015. At the end of 2015 is actually when I got logged in with, it was IML at the time. iMarkets Live, and it was before the rebranding to iMastery Academy, which I absolutely love, by the way, because I am are the two most powerful words in the English language. So to even be a part of this whole platform is really crazy, guys. But I'll give you a little inside scoop on how it was, just kind of coming up during a time where there wasn't a system, during a time where we didn't have trading down, during a time where we didn't have all of the mentors that we now have, people like Bob Proctor, Alex Morton, etc. And it's funny because, every time I kind of share my story, it's like a mix of, rabbit hole type of combos, because I didn't do this, guys. First and foremost, I just want to really put this out there. I didn't do this for the money. And I'm not saying that, because I don't like money. Of course, the money is amazing, and I'm so happy and grateful. But the money for me just kind of represents how many people we've been able to help. So I don't ever get too caught up on the actual figure amount of money. I used to, and I'll be real honest with you guys. There was a phase that I went through called new money, where I'd never had money, and all of a sudden, now I have money. And so that really fucks you up psychologically in a way that it's like almost too much to bear. Some people, they want money, right? But they don't know what to do when they have it. And they say right now, if they were to give all the money in the world evenly to every person in the world within 2 to 3 years, it would end up in the same hands. Now, when you ask yourself that question, why would that be? It's because of the lack of financial literacy. It's because, again, people don't know what to do with money. So if they just have money and they've never had it before, they're more than likely going to do all of the things they shouldn't with it. They'll splurge, they'll waste it, they'll spend it instead of reinvesting it and, doing all these different things. But, I went through that phase, and that's the new money phase. And I went through that phase actually about 10 years ago when I was, I'm 29 right now. So it was when I was 18, 19 years old. At that point in my life, it was a whole different reality, a whole different experience. But nonetheless, it was still a very amazing experience. Like, I'm so happy that I was able to go through that stuff because it really helped me become the person I am today. And so, 2009, I actually graduated 2008. So right around that time, I'm like at the peak of my game, to where I'm making all this money that I'd never made before. And I did let it get to my head. I did use that to show off. I did use that to go and buy a bunch of Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Versace. Every brand that you can think of, just because it was expensive. I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy that. Didn't even know what the hell it was, but it was that level of programming that came out. You see, money doesn't change you. Money merely exposes who you already are. So if you're a good person with money, guess what? You're going to do a lot of good when you have it. If you're a greedy person, if you're, a person who's narcissistic, then you're going to do a lot of selfish things when you have it. And I feel that, a lot of times people go through that phase simply because they've never experienced money before. And so, every time I see somebody who has never had any money, and then all of a sudden they come up, there's like this mental barrier that doesn't really allow them to scale. It doesn't allow them to get to the next level. And I actually had some conversations this week with some of my students who are like at that level. They're living off of this. They're making money full time from this. They got a team, and they're like, man, how do I get to the next level? It's like I'm stuck here. And it's because, there's a saying, some people are so broke, all they have is money. You got to ask yourself, what value do you provide as a human being if you're dead broke right now? And, if you really genuinely answer that question, then you're going to start to want to get to work. You're going to start to want to read, to self-educate yourself, to consume information, to be able to learn shit so that you could give that back. Because, if we like, this is a conversation Mike Miles always has. If we all had, say, $1 million right now, right? We all had $1 million cash in our hand, in our pocket, whatever. Who would be talking about $1 million? Who would be talking about money? We all had $1 million. Just, we're stacked. We're good. Probably the last conversation we're going to have is going to be about money, right? And this is a thing, this is a vision that, I saw along with Mike and Jordan back in 2015 when we were barely putting everything together, because we had already kind of had that, that first come up. Like Jordan, when I met him, he had already made, 6 figures. He had already cleared over 100,000 from different things that he was doing, including playing video games, which I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know you could make money playing video games until I met Mike and Jordan. And guys, for those who don't know, I want y'all to really get a sense of pride for this, because you guys are learning how to snipe the markets, not from just any snipers. You guys are learning how to snipe the markets from Mike and Jordan, whose gamer tags used to be Hasher and Prisma. These guys are legends in the game, in the whole gaming world, period. I mean, they used to compete with Ninja. Those who know Ninja from Fortnite, they used to compete with this guy. He's from Texas, so they grew up with this guy. They were making money from this. They were streaming on Twitch, top 10 in the world for Halo. How many of you guys played Halo? I'm sure every guy on this call played Halo at one point or another. You guys are learning from the top 10 in the world, top 10 snipers. And it's funny because they actually met because they would compete on Halo. And they used to hate each other because they were always running up next to each other, and they ended up becoming best friends because of it. And whenever I came into the mix, I was just that business kid who had a little bit of swag, and there was these 2 nerdy guys who had a lot of information in general. And I was like, all right, we got to do something together to give everybody this sauce. But again, you guys are learning from the best of the best. Like, if anybody likes video games, challenge Jordan to a video game just so you can laugh. Like, it's crazy. Like, he'll slaughter you. Like, it's insane. Darwin was always like, man, I'm a dumpster roll you and this and that and the other. And, you know, he was always getting, like, you know, hard L's. But it's funny. Besides the point, though, you know, I met these people at just the right time. Some people would say it's luck. And, you know, I've heard people call me, oh, you're lucky. Oh, well, yeah, you're Chairman 50 because you started there at the beginning. It's like, guys, no. You gotta remember this. This is fair game, right? Here, nobody's going to build 3 legs for you. Nobody. So if you've made it, understand that you deserve that. That's fair game, right? We made it in a way to where you couldn't win unless you carried your own weight. So I believe that luck is when timing and preparation meet. See, back in 2015, I was at the top of my game in the world of sales. I was actually training the staff from Hilton, Wyndham, Marriott, Sandals, different resorts. I was in the travel industry. And it was a really, really awesome experience because I got to learn from some of the best in the entire industry of sales, millionaires and people who have really just gone out there and changed the game. And these are the people that were teaching me all these things. And so it got to a point where I was like, all right, now that I've acquired all this knowledge, what am I really doing? Like, I'm making good money. At that point in 2015, when I didn't even know about IML, at that point in my life, I had a penthouse, a high rise, a Corvette, Lexus LFA. I had a couple other cars. Like, I was chilling. And I was just, you know, kicking back, kind of like living the retired lifestyle without being able to enjoy any of it because I was still having to go to work. And it's true. You know, Warren Buffett says, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you will work until the day that you die. It doesn't matter how much money you make. So it didn't matter that I was already making over $250,000 a year. I had to still clock in order to get that paycheck. You know, I didn't get to just cash out and go on vacation whenever I wanted to. It's funny because I was in the travel industry, but I was only taking 1 vacation a year, if that. Like, a lot of the times I wouldn't even travel. It would just be like, you know, I use it to get paid a little bit more, right? Because we're conditioned to money. Anyway, you know, so I was living this life of comfort. I was living this life of feeling stagnant. Like, have you guys ever felt stagnant to where you're like, dang, you know, how do I get to the next level? Like, how do I stop living the same life every single day over and over and over? Because think about it. How many people actually live literally the same exact life over and over and over and over? I mean, every Monday, right? Every Monday, everybody's like, man, it's Monday again. You know, I hate this day. Like, God, no, why'd you make it Monday again, right? And Monday, trust me, Monday, there's no problems with Mondays. Mondays are amazing. Mondays are actually my favorite days now. But there was a time where I used to hate Mondays. And, you know, I'm going to ask you guys this question for a second. Like, you know, think about this really, really, like, you know, with just your parents and your family and your friends in mind. You know, how many people do you know who are living the exact same life on repeat? Every single Monday is the exact same. Every single Friday is the exact same. You know, every single Sunday, they do the same thing. You know, barbecue, carne asada, and that's it. Yeah, guys, if you could mute yourselves just so everybody can kind of hear, appreciate that. And so when you think about it, so many people are living the exact same life on repeat. And I wouldn't call that living. I would call that surviving. Literally just surviving, trying to make it, right? Trying to make ends meet, trying to just survive. Some people literally say that, oh, I'm just surviving. Hey, how you been? I'm out here just, you know, trying to stay afloat, right? Have you guys ever heard these things? This is the reality for virtually almost every person around you. And, you know, it's a reality that I had almost kind of like became aware of since I was a little boy, since I was a little kid. You know, I used to observe. I'm very observant. You know, I used to observe everything. I still do. And, you know, when I was growing up, I would observe people live this particular lifestyle, and I couldn't for the life of me wonder why. You know, why don't people do something about it? You know, if people are unhappy with their current situation, why don't people do something about it? You know, why don't they go out and start a business? Why don't they go out there and, you know, start a movement? Like, why don't people do the things that they're complaining about so that they could have the life that they want? And it's because they just didn't know how. They had no idea where to start. They didn't know how to, you know, get to the next level, because one of the things that, you know, a lot of us never got taught growing up, and it's actually one of the most important things, is personal development. Like, drop a 1 if somebody taught you personal development before any of this, like before you knew anything about IML, iMastery Academy, the Tradehouse, Quantum Creations. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that fucking crazy? Like, I want you guys to realize that every person that doesn't know about this doesn't know that there's this world of possibility, that there's world of infinite potential, that there's this world of opportunity for everybody. And there's enough opportunity here for everybody, right? So because nobody got put onto personal development at all while we were growing up, while we were just kind of being conditioned by society, being conditioned by the music that we listen to, right? Who in here listens to Bad Bunny? Who listens to, like, I'm not gonna lie, I do too, right? But when you really listen to the lyrics, Cardi B, you really listen to the lyrics, what are they talking about? You know, are they talking about how the human race can get to the next level? Or are they suppressing what has kept us at the level we're at? Are they still talking about sex? Oh, they're still talking about sex. Okay. They're still talking about drugs and money. And people glorify that. People literally look up to that like, oh my God, look at Cardi B's nails and look at that makeup and, you know, look at how artificial this person is because they have enough money to change their entire image. And people idolize this. And this is what becomes people's like goals in life. You know, a lot of girls' goals in life, and like, I'm not even trying to like call out any shots, but, you know, and I'm saying this from experience. A lot of girls, like, overall, like, you know, biggest goals in life is to look and sound like these people on TV. How many girls wish that they could be what's her name? Kylie Jenner, right? Like, how many people would be like, oh man, I wish, you know, I could be her. I would trade my life for her. Guys, she's completely artificial. I'm not saying that she's a bad person. She's really smart, right? She's got an entire empire behind her. But think about it like this, you know, at the end of the day, what is the ripple effect of that, right? Like how much, first of all, I don't know about, you know, the people who have really gone down this rabbit hole. So I don't want to go too far off topic, but do you guys know how much animal cruelty, how much like poison they actually put into makeup and how the process to get all these pretty products out on the shelf? Like, you guys actually know the ins and outs behind that? It's pretty fucking crazy. You know, it's crazy that they actually kill fucking whales just to get your lipstick, right? And so there's a lot of stuff that people just have no idea about. Again, because they're being sold this lie on TV that life will be amazing if they look this way. Life will be amazing if they dress this way. Life will be amazing if they have this success. You know, life will be amazing when they have that car. But up until that point, life is miserable. And see, that's the biggest lie that they sell you on TV. You know, I was talking to Michael, one of my boys that's in QC out here in Dallas, and, you know, we were just at his house yesterday. He doesn't even own a TV, has no TV, has a big library, but no TV, right? And so you got to like think about how many people could you say have the same situation in their house, have no TV, a library, and read every day? Like, think about it. What percentage of all the people you know do that on a day-to-day basis? I would say for me, it's less than 1% of all the people that I know who are not in IML, right? It's like they still try to get the biggest TV. They still try to get the biggest laptop, the biggest computer, the biggest phone, but they're not using any of it, right? And they're just being distracted by this whole, you know, consumerism that they believe is the ultimate key to happiness. You know, if you have enough money to go out and stunt, then you can be happy. And guys, again, I repeat this to you, some people are so broke, all they have is money. I've met some of the happiest people in the world in villages and third world countries where they don't even have clean water. And I've met some of the most miserable people on earth who are driving a Lamborghini. And so the materialistic things don't dictate how you feel. The materialistic things don't make you feel complete. Again, when I knew about IML, I was living like comfortable. I was living really, really nice, yet I was beyond depressed. I was an alcoholic. I hung around a bunch of alcoholics. So guess what I was? Another alcoholic. And I used to spend like $1,000 at the bar every single week. Why? I don't know. Other than the fact that I was around certain people. I really don't know. You know, I wish I had reinvested all of that money, because I told Jordan all the time, damn, bro, if I had just met you, 3 years sooner, I would have been able to like really start this a different way. But, this is just things that I've gone through in my life and my experience that have gotten me to realize we need to do something about it, right? Like, we need to really do something about it. I mean, look at this year. This year has been a complete shit show all year long. You've had literally people say, wear a mask to walk into a store, to walk 10 feet so that COVID doesn't get you in those 10 feet, so that when you sit down at your table, you can remove your mask and now you're protected from COVID. Like, this is a fucking reality. And I really feel like I'm in a reality TV show. I'm like, yo, like, we're getting trolled. We're getting trolled so fucking hard right now. The CDC, right, themselves said last week that if you wear a mask, it's not going to help you against smoke. But smoke particles are bigger than fucking COVID particles. So again, we've been witnessing an entire shit show all year long. But because how people, they've already said, hey, I'm going to get all of my data from Univision. My parents do that, right? They're going to be like, oh, I'm going to get all my data from Fox, from CNN. I had somebody literally today tell me that, they weren't going to read any article I sent them unless it was from a credible source, unless it came from CNN themselves. And I was like, wow, that's cognitive dissonance on a whole different level. Like, you won't even be open to information unless it comes from the place that you think is true, right? And so this is the problem with society. The biggest problem with society is that we have forgotten what we've forgotten. We've forgotten that we're not these, avatar bodies. We've forgotten that we're connected to everything. We've forgotten that we're not so different than our neighbor. We forgot the fact that we are our neighbor, right? We forgot that we need to treat everybody the way that we wish to be treated, not because it's the right thing to do, but because it's karmatic law. If you want to experience a good reality, treat people good, and that good will come back to you. If you don't care and you treat people bad, don't complain when you're getting shit on, right? It's as simple as that. You get what you give, quite literally. In every aspect, in every sense of the word, like, you completely get every type of energy that you've given out to the world, it all comes back to you. And see, people forget these things, and that's why it's really important for us, people who know, people who are aware, people who are self-conscious, people who have information that people are quite literally praying for. They're begging for this information. So, you have to really understand that in order to change anything, you have to be the change first. You have to be the change you wish to see in the world. And you know how you do that? By example. Literally by going out there and just doing it, setting a different tone, doing things a little different, walking a little different, talking a little different, treating people a little different, right? They say you have to preach at all times. Check this out though. But when necessary, use words. See, because it's not what you say. It's how you say it. It's how you do certain things. It's how you make people feel. It's how you make somebody feel when you leave their presence. Are they saying, damn, I got to be around this person more? Or are they saying good riddance? Because you have to be so self-conscious of everything that you do, because if you monitor like your thoughts, you monitor what you listen to, you monitor who you hang around with, you monitor all these different things, then, you're going to be very aligned to where you're not going to have or, experience a lot of drama in your life, because you're not hanging around energy vampires. You're not listening to low frequency music. You're not wasting your time consuming, Netflix series, which, by the way, Netflix, for those who don't know, is very far left. Netflix has a bunch of bullshit on there. I mean, they have like these little girls literally twerking on there, right? The CEO of Netflix just got caught having like thousands, tens of thousands of pornographic pictures of kids on his phone. So always look at things from a point of source, right? Who is the person that created that platform? What is their mission? What is their vision? How do they resonate as a human being? Because the only way that I consider anything as factual or anything as credible is looking at the intention behind it. Rick and Morty is actually one of my favorite shows. And, I love Rick and Morty because of the message that it kind of brings in a very funny way, right? But here's a really sad fact. The guy that created Rick and Morty is a pedophile, right? He actually has a whole other website of little skits and cartoons that he's done. And there's one video on there where it shows literally the entire process of how to get adrenochrome from kids, even to the point where they take their faces off and they wear it to try to scare them, like crazy ass shit. But this is like for real, right? And so you never know what you don't know. And what I'm telling you guys is you have to be very, very on your feet. You have to use a sense of intuition, because you can always feel the vibe from certain people, But a lot of the times I see people always get taken advantage of it because they're too nice, they're people pleasers, they trust everybody. And, you know, I'm not saying don't be that person, but always get a feel for people's vibes, because people are either giving or taking energy away from you. You want to be around people who give you good energy, who send you that energy, right? You don't want to be around people who are energy vampires, because energy vampires, they're going to drain the life right out of you. I've had a lot of like people call me after like a week that they got started, and it was like, you know, they were doing great, and then they fell right back into their old habits, and they're like, I don't know what happened. And I said, well, who are you hanging around? Have you changed who you're hanging around with? And they're like, no, not really. And I'm like, well, that's what happened, right? The law of averages started to kick in against your favor. So you have to really, really be very conscious of everything that you consume, right? We consume so many things every single day. And the only thing that we really care about, or the quality of the consumption that we take in, is usually just the quality of the air that we breathe, right? Like a lot of the times you want to be around, you know, good, clean air, right? You smell something bad, you get the Febreze, right? You smell bad, you take a shower, right? And so our sense of smell is one thing that we monitor a lot as human beings, but we don't monitor what we listen to. We don't monitor who we give our energies to. We don't monitor what we watch. We don't monitor you know, what we allow into our lives. And so negativity is something that can really, really drown your boat. And they say that, you know, all the water in the ocean couldn't drown a boat unless that water got into the boat. So negativity is the same thing. You know, if you allow that negativity to get in because you're surrounding yourself around people, it's like you're asking for it, right? Then that negativity can easily drown your boat, because it could get in there if you're around the wrong environment. So one thing that I did when I first started with all of this, just to monitor my frequencies, I went cold turkey on my friends. Now, I know that sounds a little harsh, right? And I'm sure that, you know, most of you listening, you're probably like, man, I don't want to stop talking to my friends. You know, they're my friends. I care about them. They make me laugh. They're cool. They're funny. You know, they bring me stuff when I'm sick. They tell me sweet things, whatever. But guys, look, here's the thing. You know, the price that you pay to have everything, like Mike Miles says, is everything. And that was one of the prices that I had to pay, because I realized that I was around a lot of energy vampires. I realized I was around a lot of people who wanted to see me win, but they didn't want to see me win more than they were winning. And so they had that crab mentality. Most of your friends, most of your family members will treat you the exact same way. They'll want you to win, but they don't want you to do better than them. Trust me. You know, and so because I realized these things, I had to do what was important for my health, for my personal growth. I had to cut out these people. I had to trim the fat. I had to remove these people completely out of my life. And I have been talking to my best friends in over 5 years. So how bad do you want this? You know, how bad do you want to be able to wake up and, you know, say to yourself, man, I'm proud of the choices that I've made. Even though they were hard, I'm proud that I made those choices, because now I'm here, right? And so one of the things that I would really want you guys to take away from this call is really monitor how your vibes are at all time. You know, do a self audit. Like, ask yourself, you know, what like if you're off, if something that is not right, if you're not able to focus, if you're having a hard time seeing progress or seeing results from this, then I guarantee you it's probably because you haven't stuck yourself in like the hyperbolic time chamber, right? And that's just something that I say for those who know DBZ. But you have to really like get yourself away from everybody and put yourself in your room, lock yourself in your room, and do nothing else but grow on yourself. Do nothing else but focus on you for at least, I would say, 90 days, at least, right? If you haven't already done that, if you haven't like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna go all in for these 90 days. I'm gonna stop hanging out with people, stop going to events. I'm gonna stop wasting time on TikTok. I'm gonna stop wasting time on Netflix. I'm gonna stop bullshitting around. I'm gonna stop doing all these things. And I'm just gonna go all in for 90 days. Just see where you would be after that. Because I promise you, anything that you start, that you stay consistent with, you're gonna see results, period. Like you could be the most overweight person, and you get yourself in the gym every single day and actually work out every single day and actually like follow a meal plan, actually do all these things, you'll slim up like that. You know, so you have to be able to really be willing to pay whatever price is necessary for what you guys want. Now ask yourselves, you know, a lot of people, they don't know what they want. Like, what do you guys want in particular, right? Ask yourself that, what do I want? And look at the universe as that waiter that is ready to serve you whatever you ask for. The problem is some people haven't even asked. Some people are still sipping water while the universe has already came to the table like 5 times. And it's like, well, you still haven't made up your mind what you want. I'm going to keep letting you sip on water, right? You have to ask for what you want and feel as if you already have it. See, the secret to having everything in the world is realizing you already have it. You already have whatever it is that you want, because time and space doesn't exist, right? And I'll give you guys an example. So I want you guys all for a second to close your eyes. So everybody out here, close your eyes. And I want you to think, right? Think for a quick second of the last wedding that you went to, okay? So try to like visualize yourself there. You know, how are most people dressed? You know, what are most people doing? What's the music? You know, what's the food? Think of like the vibes that you felt in the air. You know, it's probably like a beautiful sunset. Maybe it was an outdoor wedding, or maybe it was an indoor wedding, and there was very nice decorations everywhere. Everybody was dressed really nice. You were wearing something, you know, very nice as well. And think of like the first dance that they had, you know, like the bride and the groom, their first dance. Think of like, you know, later into the night, once everybody turned up, everybody started drinking, you know, your uncles, your cousins, friends, whatever, dancing around all goofy, you know, making a fool of themselves and, you know, just having the best of time, right? And for a quick second, I see a lot of you smiling. I see a lot of you guys, you know, I see your facial expressions because you're not here right now, you're there. See, time doesn't exist. So the same sense, right? I want you guys to close your eyes and I want you to visualize real quick what your life would be like as a chairman already. Time doesn't exist. We just established that. You guys just went back in time. So now let's go forward real quick, right? And visualize yourself on that stage. Visualize your parents, front row seat. They're waiting for you, clapping for you. Little brother, little sister, taking a picture of you, smiling at you, waving at you, and you're just waving back because you know that right there is the pivotal point in your entire family's life. That's the moment everything changes, right? You're chairman 10. You now have resources. You now have supplies. You now have funding. You have now what you've never been able to do for your family before. Now it's like, what do you need, mom? Bet. What do you need, dad? Got you. Oh, you want to do this? All right, let's go here. Oh, you want to take care of that? I got you. Here, pay off your debt. Here's some shopping money. You know what, mom? You've been so good to me. Here's a fucking car. Hey, you know what, dad? You raised me the right way. Even though you didn't show me everything I needed to know, you showed me what I didn't need to do. And because of that, thank you. Here's a fucking house, right? Like envision yourselves being able to go into the store. You're walking by the store. You see, you know, ladies, you see red bottoms, and you go in that store and you buy as many fucking pairs as you want. You know, for the fellas, you walk into a Rolex store and you're like, ooh, look at this diamond crusted Rollie, like sheesh, Submariner, no date. All right, the Prezi, and you just walk out with that bitch. Think of that as being your day-to-day reality where nothing tells you, nobody tells you what to do and nothing stops you from doing what you want to do. Where you can have true time freedom, financial freedom. You can literally do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, as much as you want. You're free. You're no longer bound by anybody or anything or any other person's perspective. You don't have to wake up tomorrow to go to work to that job that you hate. You don't have to get dressed in the morning. You don't have to rush to traffic anymore. You don't have to rush to eat your food at lunch. You get to go eat whatever you want whenever you want to. Even if it's not your birthday, you can go have a 5-course meal right now, right? And this is something that you have to visualize every single day. Guys, I was a chairman before I was a chairman. I was a chairman since the day I signed up because I already knew. I had already synced it. I knew that was going to be my reality. I knew it was just a matter of time. I knew I just had to figure out the formula that I had to follow to stay consistent, to be able to have all of those things, to be able to have that reality. And I want every single one of you guys to experience that reality because you can, because it's in your birthright, because you are here right now at this particular time, on this particular call, surrounded by these particular individuals for a reason. This is no accident. You didn't come here by coincidence. There is no coincidence. Again, luck is when timing and preparation meet. You guys are prepared. You guys have the mindset, or else you wouldn't be on this call, right? Winners are winners and losers are losers. I can't explain it any better. You guys are all fucking winners. You guys are all right here showing up every single day, listening to some guy on the other side of a phone on a Zoom call halfway around the country, but you guys are here. Y'all showed up. Y'all said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go listen to some value. I'm gonna go get put on some game. Those are the qualities of a winner. So I want you guys to really, really, really own up to that. You guys are fucking winners. You guys are lions. You guys are wolves. See, wolves, they don't hang out with the sheep. They hang out with other fucking wolves. And we go out and we hunt together. And we're doing amazing things. I want you guys to realize, take a second and look back at how far you've came. You're not the same person you were when you started. You're way bigger. You're way better. You're somebody who's inspiring other people. You're somebody who other people look up to. You're somebody who is guiding other people literally through the hardest times of their lives. I had a student yesterday reach out to SJ and just give her like his whole sob story of how this has changed his life drastically, because 4 months ago he would have taken his life if he didn't understand the things that he understands now. If he didn't realize and become self-aware that the whole time that he was looking at himself in the mirror, just like the dog looks at itself in the mirror and it barks at it, but then the dog realizes, hey, that's not another dog, that's me. That's when you become self-aware, right? And that's what this man was able to do. He became self-aware. He stopped letting everything happen to him, and he started to consciously co-create his reality. He stopped being a victim. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people have to stop. I got to cut it out. There is nobody, it's nobody's fault that you are where you are right now. You put yourself there based off of everything that you fed your mind, based off of every person that you hung around, based off of everything that you did or didn't implement that you already know. Because to know and not to do is to not know at all. There's a lot of times that people are like, oh, I already know. I already know this. I already know that. Oh, really? Well, regurgitate it back to me verbatim. Oh, but I don't know it that well. See, you don't know it at all, right? You got to master the basics. There's 4 principles that I will always regurgitate forever and ever and ever and ever, because these 4 principles is what allowed me to take control of my avatar, to take control of the computer program, to be able to implement things that I wanted to with an actual how-to guide every single time. And those 4 basics, it starts with, who do you listen to? Like, who are you listening to right now? Because if you're listening to somebody who does not have what you want, right, you're wasting your time. If you're listening to somebody who does not have the life that you would trade places with right now, you're literally listening to somebody who's never stepped foot in the gym, and you're asking them for their meal plan. You're asking them for their workout routine. They've never stepped foot in the fucking gym, and you're asking them for which, machines they should use, how many reps they should do. They're going to give you nothing but, guess what? Theory, because they never fucking done it. They don't know. See, pride is something you're going to kind of have to deal with, because our parents are very prideful, right? Our parents, people that we grew up around, they're very prideful. Hell, I used to be very prideful. I used to think I knew everything, right? And then I realized that the only thing I know is that I know nothing at all, like nothing at all. There's 7,000 languages in the world. How many do most of you guys know? 1, maybe 2? You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't know shit. We don't know anything. So anytime that you're like, oh, I know this, and this is how shit should be ran, and this is the only way to do it, guys, remember, preach at all times. And when necessary, use words, because we don't know what we don't know. We always have to be a student. We always have to be available for information. We always have to have an open mind, because at any given moment, shit could change, right? At any given moment, you could be introduced to something new, and if you had a closed mind, you would have overlooked it. It would have gone right over your head. Or if you had an open mind, you'd be able to grasp the blessings that are already waiting for you guys. See, a lot of the times, there's blessings in disguise that we don't ever realize. There's a story about this one man who was like drowning in a boat, and he was like praying to God. He was like, God, come save me. Like, the ship is drowning, and, this boat passes by. And he's like, hey, bro, your boat is drowning. Like, hop on over here. And he was like, no, it's cool. God's coming. I got faith. God's going to come save me. I'm all good. And then another boat passes by, and he's like, hey, bro, you really don't have much time. Like, you better hop on this boat, or you're going to go down with yours. And he's like, no, like, trust me, God's coming. I got faith. Like, he's coming. I know he's coming. And, he's about to drown. A helicopter passes by, and he's like, if you don't hop on right now, you're pretty much, gone. And he's like, well, no, God's going to come save me. I know he's going to save me. And next, he dies. And then he appears in front of God, and he's like, hey, what the hell? I believed in you. I had faith in you. You were supposed to come save me. And he's like, you idiot. I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. So a lot of the times we don't really realize what it is that we're asking for. You know, we don't see past the blessing in disguise. Corona was a blessing in disguise. This literally helped so many people go to the next level. Drop a 1 if Corona helped you go to the next level this year. If you're someplace better right now because of this whole bullshit that we have to deal with, right? So we can turn positives into, or we turn negatives into positives all day long. And you have to be able to do that with any situation. You have to be able to, you know, flow, but don't drift. Don't get stuck. Don't get caught up. Don't get held back. Don't have attachment. Remember, the only person you can control is yourself. And the only thing that you can give to somebody else is information. As much as you would want to control somebody else, you just can't. So have peace of mind knowing and realizing that the only person that you can control is yourself. And because you're the only person that you can control, you should not care what anybody else is doing, ever. Anybody. It doesn't matter who it is, right? And you have to give up to go up. Look, a lot of you might be thinking to yourself, oh, well, you know, I want to do that, but I'm in this relationship where, you know, I just don't know, right? It's like we're used to each other. It's like we want to support each other, but it's like at the same time, you know, we always want more of each other than we're actually giving each other. So it doesn't work out. It clashes. I have so many students, guys and girls, who come to me with relationship problems trying to build this empire. And let me tell you right now, some of you are sleeping with the enemy, because if you're not with somebody who is like just living their best life at their full potential without worrying about you, you're in the wrong relationship. Because you have to be in a relationship where both people are growing, where both people are leveling up, not just one. It can't just be one of you reading a book. It can't just be one of you getting the bag. It can't just be one of you, you know, going through personal development. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. Another price that I had to pay, because at the time that I started this, I was dating this amazing person who didn't have the same vision that I had, who just didn't see it as clearly as I did, who just wasn't sold on the vision as much as I was sold on the vision. And I tried to hold on to that relationship as long as I could. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't worth it. I had to let go. I had to give up to go up. I had to realize that this just wasn't her mission. This just wasn't her passion. This just wasn't what she was going to put up with. She wasn't going to put up with me leaving to go work. She wasn't going to put up with me not being with the family because I had to go out there and save other families. You feel me? So I was like, you know what? Like, I love you in the way in, love you in the way out, but I got to grow. I got to do what's best for me. I got to do the right thing that is going to make me feel complete, that is going to make me feel like I'm achieving my full potential. And if you're holding me back from that, then I don't need you in my life. I really don't. Right? Surround yourself with people who want to see you fucking win, who want to see you level up, who push you to level up, who do stuff to show you, look, I'm going places. Are you following me? Are you here? Are you like checking yourself? Because I guarantee you, like the person I'm with now, she'll give me shit if I'm not doing something conducive to my growth. She'll be like, yo, I already did 3 calls. What are you doing? I'm like, shit, like, all right, bet. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be with somebody who really slaps you in the face because they love you, because they want to see you grow, because they want to see you do better, because they want to help you go to the next level, right? And so what I want to let you guys know is what it takes to really become a chairman, what it takes to really not just become a chairman with the money, but become a chairman with the mindset, because you're going to have a bunch of situations that you can't control. Right? You're going to have a bunch of problems. Like, trust me, guys, it only gets harder. Like, you guys think it's easier to have chairman or to live this chairman lifestyle? Guys, that just means you got to do a lot more calls. That just means you got to do a lot more presentations. That just means you got to travel a lot more. That just means you got to do a lot more trainings. That just means you got to be on the phone 24/7. It means that everybody looks up at you and looks up to you, and it's monkey see, monkey do. They're watching every move that you're doing, so you have to be on your A game. See, it's not just like, oh, here's a Lamborghini, go drive it. Because if I gave you a Lamborghini right now and you've never driven a Lamborghini before, how quick are you going to fuck that car up? Pretty quick. You're going to blow off, you know, the clutch. You're going to mess up the transmission. You're probably going to put the wrong oil in it. You're probably going to rev it when it's cold. Like, you know how many people I meet with my Supra and they're like, oh, bro, rev it real quick. And it's like, bro, just turn it on. Like, let the engine cool for a minute. You know, I'm not some 16-year-old like anymore. You know, they're like, oh, do a donut. It's like, no, bro, like, these are Pilot Sport 2 tires. I don't want to, like, you know, buy new ones right now. Like, I'm chilling, right? So it's like, it's because they're not ready to receive that yet. And so you have to prep yourself to be ready to drive the Lamborghini, so that when you drive the Lamborghini, it's not a surprise. You're already the person that is, deserving of that Lamborghini, just like you're the person that's deserving of that rank, right? You deserve chairman because you provide that much value. You deserve chairman because you've helped that many people. You deserve chairman because you've chosen people over profits. You deserve chairman at that point because you're just doing what you know is right. You're living in your purpose, right? You're doing what is going to help you feel fulfilled. See, a lot of the times people, they do this as a hobby, and they do this because it makes money, and they do this because trading works, and they do this because network marketing works, but they're not doing this because this is what they fucking believe in. They're not doing this because they're sold on it that this is what they're going to do for the rest of their fucking lives. Like, guys, the day I signed up is the day I quit my job, because I knew since day one, this is where my flag was going to be planted. I knew since day one that this was going to be the community that I wanted to be a part of, just because there was other people who were constantly pushing me to be better. There was other people who were constantly teaching me things. There were other people who were better than me, doing better things than I was. And I said, you know what? I got to level up. I got to get there. Like, every time I hang around Jason Brown and Matt Rosa, how do you think it makes me feel? Like, when we were at the chairman retreat, Jason and Matt, they pull up in the Lamborghini Urus. They pull up in an AMG Mega Wagon. That shit's fucking huge. They pull up in a 720S, right? We're staying in a $5 million mansion now. I'm just like, damn, I got to really do more. I got to do so much more, right? And it just lights a fire under my ass again. And that's what you get when you hang around the right people. Instead of, oh, look at all these bums. They're just, doing nothing, drinking. You know what? Pass me a beer. And guess what you just did? You just put yourself where they're at. You just lowered your standards, right? And so you have to remember, guys, what is it that you really want? What is it that you want to experience every single day? And are you the person that deserves it? One thing that my brother always told me, and this is very relevant to what I'm talking about, but one thing that he always told me is, what kind of girl do you want in your life, right? What kind of partner do you want to have? What kind of partner do you want to be able to experience? And he's like, understand that if you go for somebody that's up here, you got to ask yourself, am I deserving of that? Do I deserve somebody like that? And he made me write a list of all the qualities that I wanted in a girl. And he said, become the man that deserves a girl like that. So it's the same thing. Become a person that deserves chairman. Become a person that deserves, these high ranks, this lavish lifestyle, the boats, the yachts, the trips, like all that stuff. It's fun, but do you deserve it, right? And if you don't, get to fucking work, because to know and not to do is to not know at all. You're saying, yeah, I know. Yeah. 4 basics, I know that. But have you implemented that? Are you still listening to the wrong people? Have you checked yourself? Have you cut off mom and dad and said, you know what, mom and dad, like, I love you guys, but y'all don't know shit about money. I'm just going to listen to my mentors who are living the life that I want, right? You have to really take ownership, because this is your life, guys. And people don't realize that life is not infinite. Life is finite. At the end of the day, every person on this call, at one point or another, Lord willing, it's fucking ages from now, but at one point or another, we're all going to be on our deathbed. And at that point in life, are you going to wish that you had more money? Or are you going to wish that you had more experiences in life? Because money's just the byproduct of everything else that you get here. You want to die in that deathbed feeling accomplished. Hell yeah. I helped 1,000 people get to chairman. Bet. That's a fucking life accomplishment. Good job. Because the Egyptians have this theory. And for them, every time that somebody died, they would get, close to this gate where there was a gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper would ask them 2 questions. And these 2 questions dictated whether or not this person would be able to go and live a better experience or not. And so those 2 questions were, did you find joy in your life? That was the first question. Did you find joy in your life? Ask yourselves that. Have you guys found joy in your life? And the second question was, did your life bring joy to others? And if both of those were yes, then they gave you the keys to the kingdom. And so, guys, I want to remind you that we're here at this time right now in this particular place for a reason. Find out what that reason is for you. Find out why you were on this call tonight. What is it that you have to hear tonight that is going to get you to, all right, cut the bullshit. It's time to really fucking work. It's time to go, because you got to remember that the hourglass, it's going every single second, guys. This last hour that we've been on this call, you'll never get this hour back, ever. Like, you'll never get it back. And I hope that some of you guys were able to use this hour and apply this to your lives in a positive way. Maybe it was just a reminder. You know, maybe it was just a little slap, you know, to get you back on your feet, because I wish I had Big Brother all up in my face telling me what the fuck I was doing wrong. Because there was a lot of times where I just had to wing it. I had to figure it out. Shit, man, how do I do this? I don't know. There was a lot that we had to figure out. There was a lot of trial and error that we had to go through just building this whole thing. Now, thank God that we have the best system in the entire world. You know, thank God we have the best people in the entire world. You guys are getting, you know, so much value from legends, people we used to like read about, Bob Proctor, Alex Morton. Like, you guys should be more than grateful to just be a part of this environment, to just be a part of this family. And if you are grateful, if you are that happy, if you really believe that this is where you need to be, bring more people to the fire. Because, guys, you got to let them feel the heat. There's too many people out there in the cold right now. There's too many people out there who are going to live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. They're going to live tomorrow the same way they lived last week and the week before that and the week before that. And they're living life on repeat. And you know what they're going to do next week? They're going to repeat the same fucking life again. Think about your moms. Like, I know you don't want to see her repeat the same life every single week over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? While you're out there, like, you know, traveling, hanging around, like doing all these fun stuff. Like, think about your brothers. Think about your sister. I think about this shit every single day, which is why I'm opening up a shop for my family to get them out of their jobs, because I really want them to grow still, but I don't want to give it to them. You know, you always want to teach people how to fish. You never want to give them a fish. But you have to really, you know, ask yourself, what is it that you want? And then guess what? After you've realized what you want, order that damn thing. Order the plate. Put that request in. You know, are you writing it down on your journals? Because it's not real until it's on here, right? It's not really a goal until it's on here. It's not really your vision until it's on here. It's not something that you're really grateful for because you didn't even take the time to put it on here, right? So you got to put it on here. You put it on here, like my mentor, Alex Morton, said, every single morning when I wake up, I don't touch my phone. I touch my notebook first. I put my phone on the other side of the room. I don't even touch it in the morning, because as soon as I touch it, there I go. I'm off. There's a million things I got to do on social media. Boom, you know, I'm off. So I have to remind myself why I do what I do every single day. I have to affirm what it is that I want every single day. I got to place that order every single day by being grateful for the things that I want, by envisioning it, by closing your eyes like you just did earlier and seeing yourselves already driving that car, already living in that house, already taking that family trip, already retiring, mom and dad. It's already done. This is why we say this all the time. When we say it's already done, it's not just a funny thing to say. It's because we really know that time and space only exists up here. We already know that if we can hold it up here, we can hold it right here. Jordan Morgan, before he had that beautiful white Tesla, literally, I had even like seen the interior of it because he painted that on my vision. Like, he had talked about that car so much that when he got it, I was like, oh yeah, and there's your car. It's right there. We talked about this. Literally the exact same car, the exact same interior, exact same everything. And it's because he had envisioned it so many times. When I went up on stage and I talked in front of over 7,000 people at the convention, the first thing that I said when I went up on stage was, man, you know, I've already seen this so many times. Like, it feels natural. Like, we're in here. You know, like, I had experienced this in my head so many times that now that it's finally here, I'm not even scared. I'm not even nervous. It doesn't even feel like it's you know, something unreal, because I've already lived it. I've already experienced it so many times. So remember, envision what it is that you want. Place that order. Be grateful for it, like if you already have it, because that's the key to actually getting it. You have to first show your gratitude for it. See, the brain is like a field, and it doesn't care whether you plant good crops or bad crops, right? Think of a field for a second. If there was a field and you planted weeds and then you planted, you know, a beautiful rose garden, which one is going to grow? Both, right? The field doesn't care what you're planting. Like they say, as you reap, as you sow, so shall you reap. So you literally, right, get whatever you plant. So if you planted weeds, you get weeds. If you planted roses, you get roses. The brain doesn't know the difference. So if you put a good seed in there, it's going to grow. If you put a bad seed in there and you think worst case scenario, that's going to grow, right? And the thing is, most people, they spend all their days living, feeling the same, because they feel all the same shit that they felt yesterday every day. Every day they think about all the things that make them feel mad, angry, upset, disgusted, whatever, betrayed. And they think about these things every single day. And so now they're stuck feeling the same feelings, which get them to manifest the same thing. And they're thinking worst case scenario. Oh, I already know that's going to happen. Have any of you ever said that? I already know that's going to happen. And guess what? It happened. And why did it happen? It happened because you knew. And that's the key. So feel the same way for chairman. Oh, I know that's going to happen. I already know chairman's going to happen. Like, what do you mean? Of course it has to happen. It's going to happen, right? And when you know, that's when it happens. When you just know that it is. See, we live in a world of infinite potential. There is no pre-written plan. There is no, blueprint already written in the stars for you guys. You create your reality. Stop becoming a victim. Stop saying, I'm not where I want to be because it's God's plan. No, God's plan is for you to be like 10x from where you are. And look at your future self. Look at your chairman self. How will your chairman self talk to you right now? What will your chairman self tell you? Will your chairman self be like, hell yeah, let's fucking keep running it. You're doing everything right. Or would your chairman self be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're never going to retire mom at this pace. What are you doing? You're never going to get out of that job at this pace. Bro, what are you doing fucking around playing video games? You're not there yet. What are you doing spending all these 2 hours on Netflix? Like, you're never going to make it. You know, you're never going to be me because I run circles around you. That's what your future self is telling you right now. So change that, right? Change that. Make your future self fucking proud. Make sure that every single night when you go to sleep, you're like, did my future self, look at me and clap? Or did it look at me today and just shake my head, right? You got to hold yourself accountable to a different standard, guys. Nobody's going to do the work for you. Nobody's going to come save you. There's so many times where I'm around people and they're like, man, how do I hit chairman? Like, what can I do to hit chairman? And I ask them, do you know the 4 basics? And they're like, I'm like, there you go, right? Start there, right? You got to master the basics, right? Who do you listen to? What is your teachability index? How willing are you to learn? And how willing are you to change? And if those are 10 and a 10, guess what? 10 times 10 is 100. You're 100% teachable. You'll be able to pick up Chinese and fucking learn it in a month. Doesn't matter what it is, right? If you're teachable, you're ready to pay the price, you're ready to do whatever it takes, then ultimately you're going to obtain it. And not just, being willing to do it, but also knowing how to do it. There's a right and a wrong way to do anything. And if you don't know the right way, then you might just be going nowhere fast. See, the right way to do anything is to learn and then apply. Learn and then apply. Learn and then apply. So everything that I've talked about today, right? You've learned some information. For those who haven't, like, you have to really go out there and start reading some books and start applying that information. Because if you just watch Go Live all the time, if you're on every session, every single time, you don't miss a single call, but you haven't back tested, I guarantee you, you're not having any results. If you haven't, if you've already started trading, if you've opened up a live account and you've placed trades, but you haven't completed the sniper course, you're fucking up. You're not doing it right? You're doing it the harder way. We did this to make it easier for you guys. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Trust me, we've already got it down packed, perfect. You got the perfect system to plug into, something that's actually going to work for you guys in a matter of months. We have right now over 300 FTMO traders. That comes from good intentions. That comes from doing the right things. That comes from, being the example for everybody else and letting them know that this is fucking possible. 300 6-figure traders. And that's not to mention the almost 75 chairmen that we have. That's crazy, and that's humbling, and that's something that I'm so immensely grateful for, guys. But that only happened because I check myself in every day. That only happened because Mike checked himself in every day. That only happened because Jordan checked himself in every day. It happened because we kept each other accountable. It happened because we asked ourselves, what could I do more of? It happened because every single day we were willing to pay the price. It happened because every single day we went out there and earned it. My mentor told me, Christian, I don't give a fuck what you did yesterday. What are you doing right now? Right? You have to earn it every single day. Every single day. Remember, nobody's going to come save you. You have to get up every single day, write down your goals, your affirmations every single day. Spend a little bit of time to clear your mind, to clear your thoughts, to set your intention for the day, to be grateful. You can't be mad and grateful at the same time, right? So you have to make sure that you change the little habits that you do to make you feel those type of feelings, because most of us are guided by our impulses. We're guided by our subconscious programming, which a lot of the times doesn't come from a good place. You know, if you like sports or if you like ice cream, I couldn't just say snap your fingers and stop liking sports or stop liking ice cream. It doesn't work that way, because it's something that is ingrained in your brain. It's something that has become a part of your neuroplasticity, which is how your brain is hardwired to think. And so people think that they make choices in their life, but let me be honest with you guys, you don't. You don't make choices in your life. Your subconscious brain is what makes the choices in your life. So if you want to change the choices that you're currently making, you have to change the root, which is your subconscious programming, by feeding it better information. Stop listening to music that has the same lyrics. You know, if you're listening to something that has the same 4 chords, then it's not even music at that point. It's just product. It's product that they have created for consumers like yourselves. And, you know, it's something that you have to be very, very like, you have to make the effort to really like, you know, catch yourself slipping, because there's going to be times where you just want to jam out. You just want to listen to something good. But I promise you, that is changing how you think at a subconscious level. It is programming your habits. It is programming your behavior. It is programming how you think. It is programming how you feel. And the whole fucking key to everything is feel good now. If you can feel good now, then I promise you, you know, everything is going to change for you, because you resonate with how you feel more than with how you think. And if you feel good now, if you just feel like amazing every single morning, then you're never going to experience lack. And the universe is going to comply to however you feel. If the universe is like, look at this weirdo thinks that, you know, he's a chairman, this weirdo thinks that he's rich, he's a millionaire. Well, let's confirm that. That's how the universe is. The universe doesn't judge you. Now, if the universe sees you and it's like, hey, look, this person's complaining about their life. This person hates Mondays. Let's go ahead and give them more shit to complain about. Let's also make them late. Let's make them have a ticket. Let's get a ticket and maybe have like a flat tire, right? And so you get how you feel. So feel good now. How do you feel good now? Envision it. Visualize it. So you guys have so much power just with visualization that, you know, a lot of people, they take this for granted. You know, when we're kids, they tell us that we got to have this imagination. And then when we're older as adults, it's like you can't have that imagination anymore. You got to like be doled down to the system, right? It's like a tree taking, you know, its little baby tree, and, you know, this baby tree looks like an actual tree, but the parent looks like he's all chopped up, right? And he's giving this little baby tree to the school system to chop up that and also turn it into the same product. And so we have to really remember, you know, we're blessed beyond measure because of this. Whose lives are we going to bless? Because I promise you, if you're on this call, your life has been blessed significantly. You've received love. Most people don't even get love. They don't even get loved on. Like drop a one if all you've received your whole life at school, at work, with your friends was hate, was them clowning on you, them shitting on you, them making you feel bad, them making you, you know, feel lower than them suppressing you, making you feel worthless, taking away your creativity. Like all of that shit, guys, is the generational curses that we have to fix. It's up to us to change all that shit. It's up to us. And you know how you change it? You be the change you wish to see in the world. You preach at all times. And when necessary, use words. It's not what you say. It's everything else. It's how you make people feel. It's how they leave your presence. And it's, you know, if you're doing something that gets people to feel amazing after they leave your presence, then I can already tell you, you are on your way to church. Like it's already done. And if you're somebody that when people like leave your presence, they're like, oh, that guy was, you know, I don't want to be around that anymore. Then guys, that's where you're fucking up. Remember, this is a people business. This is a relationship business, but it starts with yourself. You got to have a good relationship with yourself. Just like in a regular relationship, you can't give love if you don't love yourself, right? So start filling your cup up so that you can have enough to pour onto others. And remember that every time that you do anything, right, as above, so below, there's that law of correspondence. There's going to be good. There's going to be bad. You can't control it, guys. You have to enjoy all of it. Enjoy the whole process. It's yin and yang. You get both. You don't just get the good. You don't just get the bad. In this life, all of us get both. But if we can change our attitude, if we can change how we react to everything, then we can live a world full of bliss. One of the most wokest songs is, you know, row your boat. What does it say? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. You guys decide what that dream is going to be like. There is no chapter that's already written. What chapter are you writing for yourself? Look at your life as an actual fucking book, right? And if it's not exciting, if you wouldn't buy it, then start living differently. Start doing something differently. Stop living the same life on repeat, guys, because, you know, again, this universe, this world, this life we're experiencing is finite. It does come to an end. And I hope that by the end, you guys only look back to see how much you were able to enjoy, to see how much you were able to experience, to see how many lives you were able to impact, to see how many places you were able to travel to, how many friends you were able to meet. And I think that that's really the way that every person should at least look at their life with that to expect. A very complete life full of abundance, full of friends, full of family, full of whatever it is that you want to create, guys. Your passion is for you. Your purpose is for others. And what I love about this is that it allows you to do both. You know, my passion is cars. And I was just at a car show before I did this call. So this allows you to live everything that you want, guys. Don't take it for fucking granted. Remember what it is that you have in front of you. Take that bitch, run with it, and go screaming down the hall and show everybody how it's done, right? There's this one video. I'm going to show you guys real quick. There's this one video that really illustrates how to hit Sherman in a very interesting way. Let me go ahead and play this for y'all real quick. All right, so this is what it takes to hit Sherman. The thing is that most people, they're not willing to do this. Most people, they're not willing to be this guy. See this guy right here? This guy right here, he starts dancing all funny, right? He's like at some like, I don't know what this is, like a tailgate party or something. But he's just this guy out there being, you know, weird by himself. People are looking at him. They're laughing at him, making fun of him. Man, that guy doesn't even know how to dance. He's not even wearing shoes. He's not even wearing a shirt, right? Look at him. And now there's another guy. And this other guy is like, hey, you know what? I'm weird too. You're weird. Let's be weird together. And now you got two people, this Mike and myself and Jordan. And we're out here just, you know, doing shit different, right? We're not scared to get made fun of. We're not scared to get picked on. We don't give a damn what anybody thinks. We're living our purpose. We're living our life. We're doing what we believe in, what feels right, what feels good to us. And like the saying goes, if you build it, they will come. So now this guy just hit P150. Now he's got, you know, a few buddies with him, dancing around, acting all foolish. And momentum works very much like this. You know, it's just energy that gets built on because you see more and more people start to show up. And they're like, hey, you know what? If they're willing to do it, then we'll do it too. And every time that you get to this point, once you're like Platinum 1000, from here, it's really fucking easy to go to the next level, right? Because now you have momentum. Now people see it, and now they want to come. And now they see that everybody's having fun over here. They see everybody winning, everybody catching pips, all these profits, and this is literally how they come running in. They're like, hell yeah, I want to go get some of those pips. You know, people coming from all over the woodworks, you know, they're like, oh, look, people are winning over there. People are happy over there. People are living their best lives over there. I want to be over there. And before you know it, you're fucking chairman. You just got to be willing to be that first little weirdo. You got to be willing to take that first step. You got to be willing to not care what anybody thinks, what anybody feels, what anybody says about you. And if you're willing to do that, guys, I promise you, you're already a fucking chairman. And then this just becomes life. And I tell people, man, like what I do on a day-to-day basis is just scream and cry. Literally, I wake up crying to all the gratitude that I get from students, screaming at events, and we go to sleep and we do it all over again, guys. But I'll send you the video. You could just look it up on YouTube. If you just type in guy dancing, it's like the third video that popped up. But I want you guys to understand that, you know, you are all here because of divine timing. You are all here because you made the conscious decisions necessary to be here. So thank yourself for that first. And thank yourself that you took the time out of your day to hop on this call. Like I said, time is the most precious, valuable thing that we get. I don't want to waste any more of you guys' time tonight. I hope that you were able to receive some of this information with an open mind and an open heart, because my intention is never to take. It's always just to give back, guys. Literally sending you the most positive of vibes. I love you guys. Take that. take that, giving you guys one big old hug. I fucking love y'all, familia. I will see you guys very soon. I can't wait till we're all together in the room again, because that's what I live for. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, today is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday, right? And Monday, again, is most people's least favorite days. Make tomorrow your favorite fucking day ever, right? Make tomorrow a day that sets the tone for this entire week. Do something that scares you. Do something different. Go out there and try something. You know, go out there and meet new people. Go out there to Starbucks. People ask me how I hit chairman. Look, before I had all these people in my team, they were at Starbucks drinking coffee. I just went over there because I knew that they were grinders. I knew that they were go-getters. They were hustlers, and they weren't going to go sit at a Starbucks all day. They weren't trying to connect. So guys, go to where people are already looking to connect, whether that's at the mall, whether that's at shopping centers, wherever that is. And look at every person with this intention. Look at them and know that it doesn't matter who the fuck it is. Every single one of them would much rather wake up to profits on a Monday morning than they would to an alarm clock. Go out there and bless their lives, familia. Fucking love y'all again. I'll see y'all soon. Jordan LaSavage, thank you for having me on here, Poppy. Love you, bro. And I'll talk to you guys. Laters.
Family, drop some 888s in the chat if you got nothing but value from this call. Let's go. Oh my God. The legend himself threw down for the entire family. Chris Vargas, thank you so much. If you guys aren't following him on IG, follow him. It's Wake Up with Vargas, at Wake Up with Vargas on IG. Family, I just want to thank every single one of you guys for taking time out of your Sunday and hopping on here tonight with the GOAT himself, with us. I want everybody right now to drop some 4s in the chat if you guys are going to make, from here forward for the next 90 days minimum, if you guys are going to make your future chairman self proud. Let's go. Burn this chat down, family. Let's go. But family, that is it. Stay tuned to the chat. See who we got next week. Oh my goodness, fam. Go out and make the best of this week. Make yourself proud. Let's go. Let's send it. I love you guys. Let's go.